GSL.
And we're back. Welcome to the GSL. Taste Synertosis, sponsored by Intel, G-Skill, and LG, mixing up the order of the sponsors. That's how I do it, man.
Intel, a great company, man.
It is.
I have an i5 in my laptop and an i7 in my computer.
Thank you so much for sponsoring our events, all of our sponsors, LG, Intel, and G-Skill. And thank you, viewer, for tuning in, or viewers, for tuning in to the GSL.
Yeah, I think there's more than one viewer. It's
like only one guy watches the show. He's like, wow, this is so fun.
We're like his best friends and stuff. He's the only guy in the world who can't talk about it with anyone.
He understands.
He writes us letters in longhand. It's like, you're a weird guy.
Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. We did see Killer advance in a pretty interesting series. I think it was possibly the longest PVT series we've ever cast. It's already been an hour and a half, actually. Now, on to our current match we're about to cast. We have ST Virus, ST Startail, a Terran player, one of the more up-and-coming players we have here. He does have one loss to Younghwa, and if you are not a viewer of the Team League, first of all, get your act together. The Team League is some of the best stuff we've ever casted. Younghwa is one of the scariest players we've seen coming from the Team League, a member of the team I am. So losing to Younghwa, that's not anything to be ashamed of. So we don't know what kind of potential this guy has.
I think he has a lot of potential. He's actually been someone I've been watching for quite a while. He's shown some great games, not in the GSL, things like the Startail in-house battles by InCa.
Now here's somebody we've seen a lot of, InCa. He did really well in Season 1. I feel like this guy is somebody who should eventually make it to the finals.
Yes.
In one of these GSLs.
And I think he's someone that, like, this guy's going to be around forever.
Maybe the best. Maybe the best Protoss versus Protoss in the world. I don't know.
Yeah. I put him up there with MC. No doubt about it. I just feel like he's so creative and great at it. Like him, Younghwa, and MC.
Yeah,
if you want to study PvP, look at those three.
So, I would love to see him play MC, by the way. In today's metagame, I would love to see what InCa does against MC.
That would be really cool.
Be much better than watching Hongan play MC.
Yeah, anything would be better than that. Have my teeth pulled.
All right. Anything. Now, Virus, remember Startail. InCa, remember the team OGS.
Yeah, I remember that team.
I remember them. We see so many OGS players here.
Of course. There's a lot of Startail as well. Top teams really have asserted their dominance, man, and they have the most players in the GSL. Well, first map, Zelnara Caverns. Hopefully,
great map.
InCa can play a little bit better than he did against Rain. Should have lost.
Well, InCa sort of MacGyvered his way to a victory in that series.
Yeah, he MacGyvered while his opponent
Schnarf. This bomb.
It was it was like MacGyver against Schnarf in that game.
He was like, I'm going to stop Schnarf with a paperclip and a hockey ticket.
And he barely did.
He did. All right, head-to-head here. Head-to-head here. Terran against Protoss. Startail against OGS. Virus against InCa. Let's do this.
Startail Virus versus OGS InCa.
It's game time over here in the upper right side of the map. We have our player, Terran player.
Startail Virus.
A little bit nervous there.
Virus, pretty deadly player. Will InCa be vaccinated against him? In the bottom left, I think one of the best Protosses out there.
OGS InCa.
And there is InCa.
Great player. One of my favorite Protoss to watch.
Yeah, me too.
Very entertaining.
Well, the thing about InCa that makes him different is he sort of is ahead of the curve on these kind of gimmick, unique strats. These one-time builds.
Yeah, and not just that, but overall his play style is pretty neat. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it, actually.
I did it.
That
summed up InCa.
Congrats. That's pretty good, man.
And the probe comes in here. sees that the refinery is being built on top of the Vespian gas geyser, and that means Protoss might not do a quick expand. I mean, Terran might not do a quick expand, excuse me.
He's going to want to get as much intel as he possibly can. Will InCa get a second gas? It's so common nowadays not to. And is he just going to build a barracks? He is. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before. The probe has run away. He has no idea about that barracks. Unless he barely saw that SCV going down the side, which I don't think he did. And the thing is, when you see a build like this, you're like, well, everyone goes fast expansion right now. I can just make a Nexus off one gateway. But that is risky. That is the meaning of risk, man. I mean, if he does it, sure, great. You're in a good spot. But if he does something like throw the second barracks down, you might just die. Your life might end, Tasteless.
Your life might end. That's terrible. You know, with the way the metagame is sort of leaning, most Protossers would make a quick expansion here, so I'm curious to see if InCa has that kind of game sense.
Yeah.
InCa tends to have pretty good instincts as far as what his opponent's going to do.
Yeah, that's quite true. Well, it really looks like he's gearing up for that expansion, Tasteless.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Could possibly be 2 more gateways. We're going to see momentarily. If it's 2 more gateways, he's in great shape, because that's, like, safe. And 3 gateways beats 2 barracks this early on before Stim. InCa is pushing up the map a little bit.
You know, I saw that Marauder run, and I wonder if it's hard to run as a Marauder. That suit must be pretty heavy.
Your suit is completely mechanized from the pictures I've seen. All right, so Marauder is up here, and he does have his sewing shell, so that is going to be scary for InCa here, especially as more units come. Looks like he is going to lose that.
InCa might not just lose that, he might lose the game. He's doing a fast expand against 2 barracks.
Yes, and the thing is, Virus should not have shown that one last Marine, because that actually could have set him off. Seeing that last one, as a Protoss player, I looked at him like, wait a minute, is this 2 barracks? But, of course, heat of the moment, microing there, doing stuff in your base. I don't think he really realized that that was 1 Marine too many to have at this point off 1 barracks, so he's not canceling that Nexus, although I think he's going to have to momentarily.
If he doesn't cancel it in the next few seconds here, he's going to lose it looks like.
He probably will let him hit it for a little bit and then cancel.
Yeah, buy time till he has the defenses in his main.
Right now, Virus should actually go in the base. He just killed 2 units for free. Just walk up the ramp, man. Oh no, he's bringing out probes. He's serious about keeping this.
Wow, pretty gutsy move by InCa.
Yeah. Well, he takes out one of the... He's got to target those down, those Marauders. That's so important. Once the Marauders are gone, your Stalkers can just eat through the Marines.
You know, I don't know if this was a good idea by InCa.
Yeah, he seems a little overconfident with himself. He's already lost some probes. He's already down 5 supply. More units coming in. Here he goes, some probes going out. And targeting down. Well, he kills Marine there. This Marauder.
You know what? He's going to keep the expansion, it looks like.
The probes are doing a pretty decent job thus far.
Yep.
The only problem with this Tasteless is the lack of them.
I was about to make a joke. I was like, you sounded like you said probe instead of prob.
I did
You're
say
so
probe.
funny, Artosis.
Virus finishes command center during that rush. So even though InCa held it, his probe count, well, it's 27 against 27 SCVs. But Stim is almost done. And as that finishes, you know, InCa is going to be a little bit on his back foot, not be able to do exactly what he wants.
Whoa! If we can get a shot of the Protoss' main, please. We have 2 forges. That is an interesting decision.
Kid wants to be Liquid Tyler, man.
I know, man. We do not see this build very, well, really ever in GSL.
Who doesn't, though? Liquid Tyler. So smart.
Liquid
so
Tyler
handsome,
does that.
So goes to. But yeah, basically what he's going to do is sit there, chrono boost 2 gateways, make a ton of gateway units, and then at 2-2, well, normally with this build, you'll add some Colossus in. We'll see what he does, though. He's already going up to 4 gates.
Is he started upgrading yet? For some reason, he's like not using the forges yet.
He's only at 100 gas. He wanted to throw down a Robo. So I guess as he gets his second 100 gas, I'm sure he'll throw both of his upgrades going. I am surprised though, Tasteless, you're right.
Today is the day of interesting PvT builds.
Yeah. And he's making a cannon in his line, his middle line. Interesting. Very quick cannon. Guess he must fear Banshees. There we go. The upgrades have begun. The upgrade war, Tasteless.
And finally, Terran will expand. InCa investing into past the mid game here. He wants to have a long uphill battle. Well, not uphill for his opponent.
Well, Virus does have the eBay, of course, because he has that turret. Hasn't started any upgrades yet, though. That can be a fatal flaw. You absolutely must have good upgrades in this matchup.
Marauders and Marines moving out. Terran will be able to control the map from here on out since Protoss is focusing so heavily on upgrades. Note he's even chrono boosting the upgrades.
You know, he has Stim and 2 medevacs. You know what he can do is one of these attacks in, because InCa right now has only 2 Stalker. He can do one of these attack ins, target some sentries down, then lift up over the force fields and go back.
Exactly.
But it looks like he wants to do a drop instead. But with that observer there, he realizes he can't do it. Yeah, and InCa very smartly just warped in more Stalkers. You absolutely have to do that, or they will do that little lift micro.
He's debating going in, taking a few peeks. He should not do it with this number of Stalkers.
With that many, yeah, you kind of have to commit to it, or they might be able to snipe. Maybe run in, snipe a couple Stalkers, then pick up.
You know, he could drop the main and attack the front, too.
It's quite true.
Could do that or
The thing is, there's an observer on top of his army, so he's got to be very careful.
Surprised you didn't see that, the blip.
I think he sees it, he just hasn't scanned for it yet. Looks like he's really using his mules effectively right now, trying to add on some more barracks, get some upgrades going, get his ghosts out. By the way, Zealot Charge is almost halfway done. 2-2 just starting up for InCa. And no upgrades. +1 is almost there for Virus, maybe 2/3. But InCa gonna get way ahead on upgrades, and with Charge finishing up, man. Upgraded Zealots charging at you early in the game is pretty hard to deal with.
If you guys only get one Forge, for the viewers at home, always get armor and PVT for Protoss units. You want those Zealots to take as many hits as possible while the Stalkers deal the majority of the damage.
Absolutely. And he's moving up again. +1 isn't done. He should not actually engage.
Xel'Naga Caverns is an interesting map because it's very difficult for Terran to engage Protoss after they take an expansion because there's kind of narrow areas where force fields can be quite strong.
That's quite true. Now, so much about the matchup is where you're going to position. And look at this, a fake drop. And that's just a scout.
It's a very brave Marine.
He's going to see double Forge, and that's going to get him to thinking,
maybe I should get a second engineering bay?
Yeah, maybe I should be so careful because I am getting way out upgraded. Because he's not even started his +1 armor tastes. I think that InCa, from here, if he just macros well, this is going to be like infinitely hard for his opponent because InCa's almost at 2-2 while he's at 1-0. And I cannot overstate how far ahead that's going to put InCa. Colossus is on the way.
I like this build where he goes 2 Forge and then powers off of 2 bases. Because even though his 3rd base is going to be late, you know, he's going to have such a solid army.
Yes. Exactly. I like the late 3rd.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to do it with 2
makes
forces.
You so safe, too, against drops and stuff, so you don't get too spread out. If you get too spread out, man, Terran will pull you apart like Clyde does. Here we go. He does have a couple ghosts. Don't rely on those. He has Mike.
Oh, I think he just got almost every sentry.
Yeah, there's 1 sentry, 2 sentries that have some energy left. And pretty good micro there by Virus, pulling back behind the shields and getting that Colossi. Very nice. With just his +1 against the 2-2. Managing to come out on top there. Just beautiful battle micro by Virus. There are a lot of Zealots. He's going to have to be very careful with that 2-2.
Oh, this angle may favor the Protoss here. Terran cannot really kite effectively.
Yeah, especially with this new row of Zealots. He's going to realize,
beautiful.
I have to get out of here. Nice blink. Catching the Viking. And now he's really got to get out of there, man. That Zealot gets a little closer. Bam!
Yeah, no kidding.
Still kiting some, but losing a lot of medevacs, and that's not something that you want to have happen, but luckily for Virus, he's really smart. He's already thrown up a 2nd starport, getting a reactor on it, realizing in this new age of Terran versus Protoss, you need 2 Stargates to keep your medevac count up and keep your Viking count up enough that the Colossi don't just decide every battle.
Command center relocating now. Moving up in life. Being by the gold patches, Artosis.
That he is. He wasn't even near any patches. He's feeling a little bit down. You know, goes home every night to his command center wife, and she's like, "How'd it go?" He's like, "I didn't get the promotion." She's like, "They still have you on that desk behind the minerals?" And he's like,
"They don't understand you,
they
baby.
They don't appreciate me." And then one day, man, everything lined up for him, and he's got the gold minerals now. But can he keep it? He's like, "I thought normally planetaries get this, but they have confidence in me."
He's living the American dream.
He is.
Actually, no, I think the American dream is to get proper health care.
It's my American dream.
That's my dream. Sorry, I was one of those uninsured Americans back when I lived in the States.
Yeah.
Spending hundreds of dollars just to get a checkup. Not fair, Artosis.
Just rich.
I just got sick and just had to wait to recover. All right. Uh-oh. Ghosts are moving out.
I do want to point out, even though Virus won that last battle, the supplies are still very close, 166 to 152. 3-3 is going to finish up for InCa very, very soon here, whereas 2-2 has not started for Virus. He is just starting his armory now, so his 2-2 is going to be done long after InCa has 3-3, and with this third base, InCa's going to max out and hit a sick, nasty timing.
If you guys notice, he stopped chrono boosting upgrades. He's now chrono boosting out Colossus and chrono boosting his warp gate.
Yes.
Nice transition here. Then we have another ghost attack.
And here we go. Some really awesome volleys. And I tell you what, Tasteless, this is actually really great by both players, but the upgrades of InCa, his 3-2 is too much for Virus.
Nice blink back there.
Really pushing back, though. You can't fight this with just Stalkers. He needs another row of Zealots to warp in. He has taken out the Colossi, which is so important. That's the beauty of getting 2 starports. You can actually get enough Vikings to kill off the Colossus count.
Do you get reactors on both starports, or do you have one that does not have a reactor?
You can
just
do
because
either.
You can't afford it?
You can do either, but I would say on 3 base, absolutely get the double reactor. Because there's going to be times that maybe you don't want to make more, but then suddenly you lose a bunch and you want a ton more. So it's always good, worth that extra 50-50, I'd say.
InCa needs to get this gold base ASAP. Most ASAPly.
130 supply to 138. InCa slightly in the lead there. Probe-wise, 66 probes to 65 SCVs, so very close economically speaking. Of course, gold base plus mules equals Virus is going to have a little bit more income right now, but that's very short-term. Mules eat out gold minerals so quickly.
Terran's doing the right thing. He's continuing to move around the map, not letting that orbital of his be attacked, but instead kind of taking the reins here and dictating the way the game works. He wants to make sure Protoss gets another base up as late as possible. He wants to get, Terran wants to get his 4th base up and running before he goes back into turtling. You know, Colossus is kind of like just a really tall stalker. You know?
It's so tall, man. It's like the tallest stalker of all.
It is.
It's like the stalker that plays basketball in the NBA.
He can dunk. He can alley-oop it.
It's like Stalker Jordan.
Uh-oh. Terran's got to be careful. That's a... Whoa. You don't normally see Guardian Shield when you're running away. All right, here we go.
And the Vikings coming over. Well, the Stalkers did a great job, and enough Zealots to hold back this army. They have so much armor. It's really working out for him.
You know what? They might be cornered right now. Not really anywhere that Terran could go. He loses all the medevacs. InCa looking pretty sexy, if I may say so myself.
Oh, sick Zealots. And even though he's losing all of this, still a good amount of supply for Virus. He's really keeping this macro up. But again, these upgrades are just, they're killing him, man. That was 3-3 against 2-2, 1-1 rather. 2-2 is about to finish.
InCa needs to react quickly.
I wish he had waited. He
needs to attack right now. Oh, Colossus bumping into each other. Stop tickling me.
That's the mating dance of the Colossus.
That's actually what it looks like when Colossi mate. This is an X-rated game we just saw there.
Mm-hmm. They were back-to-back there. That's really interesting.
That's a hard position. Oh my God, I haven't heard that laugh from you, man. Oh God. Okay.
All right, so 2-2 is done for our Terran player. He needs to start 3-3. He is getting his +1 on Vikings, so that's great. You always want to be upgrading Vikings because Colossus get the armor too, man. They get the armor too. A lot of gateways going to Prinka as he gets that gold, realizing he's going to need them to macro correctly. And here we go. The Vikings coming in from the side. Beautiful angle. Almost picking up Colossus. One goes down, and he's going to want to run with the rest of his army, but he is not even stimming them to get away. Zealot's doing a lot of damage. But
Virus needs to be careful. He can't be so reckless with his army over and over and over like that.
You know, he's at 163 against 182. He has to be so careful right now. InCa's even starting his plasma shield upgrades. So, I mean, he's ahead upgrade-wise. He's got sick amounts of probes. He's going to go up to 72 probes against 64 SCBs.
I like that planetary the upper left. That way he only has to defend the gold base, which is going to be mined out pretty quick anyways because of all the mules he's getting. Another engagement.
On a walk back now. Here come the Vikings. Vikings a little bit late to the party. The Stalkers taking them out oh so quickly with their +3 attack. Oh my god, taking them out oh so quickly. And once again, we do see this where he is just running away with what is left.
Am I in the movie Memento right now? I feel the Groundhog's Day. Like,
the movie's amazing, by the way.
That movie's so good. This changes everything.
Beautiful move right there by Virus. And can he take out the Templar Archives? It's a pretty expensive building. But no, he cannot. Still, the quality of InCa's army is going to be higher. Taking out that gold, obviously, pretty huge. Both of them are mining about the same. You know, Terran has that one base on the side that a Stalker is owning all alone. He's got 6 kills.
Leave it to me. Leave it to me.
And now he's fighting, well, that Stalker got a little bit too cocky.
Uh-oh. There's a question. There's almost 100 supply difference here for these two players. And, you know, if Virus has been the offender, I was about to say, kind of a weird game, actually.
You know, here's the thing. I felt both players played just completely excellently. Speaking of vitamin water, those are expensive. They taste good, though.
I heard vitamin water is actually not that good for you.
Yeah, no, it's actually really sugary.
Like there aren't actually vitamins in it, or
no? There's vitamins in it, but it's just like water and sugar and vitamins. And if there's no food in your stomach, the vitamins will just dissolve in your stomach acid and feed the food. So it's like a pointless thing. It's a pointless thing for him to drink right there, unless he's going to eat some crackers.
Vitamins are absorbed, I believe, in the large intestine.
Well, they're absorbed in multiple places.
Are they?
The small intestine absorbs the most. It's the longest. It's got the most villi and stuff to suck the goodness out of food. But all that aside, that was a great game. The problem is Virus was so far beyond on upgrades the entire game. If he had kept up completely on upgrades, I think that could have gone to him maybe. Because it was already close with like way inferior upgrades. He was down 2-2 most of the game. By 2-2. Like, 2-2 against 0-0, that's basically what it comes out to. That is like, you are owned, man. He can make anything.
I want to point something out because it was kind of weirding me out a little bit.
Okay.
In that game.
You're like, it's the ghost. I'm like,
I'm a little uncomfortable. I need to talk about it. That game, he was really attacking too much.
He was hyper-aggressive.
He was trying to gain position constantly, but he did not have an army at the end of the game.
No, he didn't.
There was between like 175 supply difference.
All those engagements near the ramp of the low ground third base of InCa, right there, he lost every battle and had to run away and then lost everything. So get more upgrades.
There you go. Get more upgrades and don't throw your army away twice in a row. All right, it's game number 2. The map is going to be played on Han.
Yep.
There is no creeps on this map. These players are way too scary. Creeps are going the round of 16 of the GSL? Nope, thank you. All right, so head-to-head here. InCa against Virus. Protoss against Terran. Head-to-head here at the GSL with Tasteless and Artosis bromancing over how much we love StarCraft 2. It's a lot.
Startail Virus versus OGS InCa.